So you've already started to gain that insight that you need to figure out how you're going to approach your debt freedom journey. You have already made a full listing of all of the debts that you owe, and you know exactly how much you need to repay. And you've even went a step further to indicate what are all of the monthly expenses or recurring expenses that I have and the income sources that are coming in. I'm so glad you're here because let's jump into day 4 of the Debt Freedom series. Y'all ready? Let's go.
The Debt Demolisher TV with Sophia Melone.
Hi, everyone. It's Sophia Melone, the Debt Demolisher, here to bring you the tools, tips, and tricks to help you manage your financial baggage the right way. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are now on day 4 of the Financial Freedom series, aka the Debt Freedom series. And I want to talk to you guys all about what I did in my 4th step to get me to a space to be able to pay off over $330,000 within less than 6 years. Now, if you're just jumping in and you haven't gotten caught up on days 1, 2, and 3, my recommendation is for you to go ahead and check those out. I'll drop the links in the description box as well as insert a few cards so that you're able to see them. But we are going to dive right in to number 4 because step 4 is a key step, it's a pivotal step, and it is the only way to really create structure around your finances in order to make your goal of becoming debt-free actually work. So if you're ready, I want you to drop in the comments, I'm ready, because this is going to be some juicy, 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 juicy gems. Let me see your I'm readies. Let me see your I'm readies. Let me see your I'm readies in the comments. The 4th step that I did to get myself in a space to navigate my financial freedom journey, jump started and really put it in motion, was establishing and operating from a budget. Now, I know a lot of y'all may not like the B word. Y'all may be like, budget? What? I don't want to work from a budget. I don't want to have any restrictions. I don't want to do this. A lot of times people hate the word budget, but the thing that you need to do to shift your perspective around the term budget is to change the terminology. So if you don't like the word budget, how can you find another word to replace it that will allow you to make sure that you operate from it? Is it going to be called your debt freedom plan? Is it going to be called your legacy plan? Is it going to be called your financial sketch? Is it going to be called your growth plan? You get to decide what you call it, but at the end of the day, a budget is simply just a budget. It's just creating structure around the income that you receive so that you can tell it where to go, as opposed to it telling you where it's going to go. You need to be the master and the captain of your income ship. So if you aren't the master and the captain of your income ship because you don't have a budget, you're playing things off of the dome, you're not writing things down, you have no method of tracking, you're just allowing money to just come out of your accounts at any time, and you're not having any rhyme or reason of how to maintain it and how to track it, your boat is going to eventually sink. Why? Because you're going to hit an iceberg. So the process that you can put in place to make sure that you avoid hitting the iceberg is forming that structure, putting that budget in place. And like I said, you can change the terminology. Instead of using the word budget, use something else so that it can be more inviting and attractive for you to be able to utilize. Now, when it comes to establishing or creating your budgets, your growth plans, your legacy plans, your financial freedom plans, all you have to do is take that listing that you created from step 3, right? The complete listing of all of your recurring expenses, all of the income that you receive, the dates in which those things are typically withdrawn, or the dates in which that income typically comes in. You're going to use that listing to compile your budget. Now, here's the strategy and here's the approach. Depending on when you are paid is how you should break out your budgets. And this is what I did. So what I did was I looked at the frequency in which I was paid, and I established and created budgets or financial plans or financial sketches or financial outlines by paycheck. And I used a method of just writing down the expense that was due on or before the due date. And now this is why I told you in step 3 to make sure that you have the dates in which those recurring bills typically come out, because you're going to use those dates in your actual budget plan, your money plan, your spend plan, whatever you want to call it. You're going to use those dates within that plan so that you can be able to manage when your income is going out of the door so that you won't end up in insufficient funds. I can't tell you how many times I have clients who have come to me who was always in a cycle of having insufficient funds, negative balances, paying that overdraft fee over and over and over and over again. It was because they did not have a plan. They did not write it out. And if you just simply write it out, you will be surprised at how much better you can manage your money. It's not so much about creating restrictions. It's about knowing where your money is going. So if you look at your budget as a plan, as a forecast, as a projection, that will be the significant indicator to help you stay in alignment with it. Not only tying that to what your overall goal is, but tying that to the why that is behind your goal. So when I started my debt freedom journey, I used the same methodology of listing out all of my expenses and figuring out when the dates hit so that I wouldn't end up in a negative balance. And then also doing these calculations ahead of time will let you know, like, based on this paycheck and based on all of the expenses that need to be paid within this window, I don't have enough. So if you're short, if you do this calculation and you're short, then you need to figure out a way, number one, how can you find the resources, get some additional income in the door to supplement the difference? Or what can you potentially call up your creditors and do to get your bill lowered? So I leveraged both tactics. I found ways to increase my income outside of my 9-to-5. And then I also made sure that I was cutting and eliminating any expenses that was not privy or in alignment to the goal that I had in front of me at the time, which was ultimate debt freedom. What I did, I said, let me call up these utility companies, let me call up these cable companies, let me call up these phone companies and see what I can do to negotiate lowering my bill or eliminating them completely. So you want to just begin to compile your income that you've received and subtract your monthly expenses that is going to go out so you can figure out what the net difference is, if you're going to have a negative balance or if you're still going to be in the positive. So if you are going to be in the positive, that's a good sign. If you're going to be in the negative, then that lets you know that you have some additional work to do to get some additional income in the door to supplement that difference, or to figure out what you can cut. We're going to talk about this in the days to come. We're going to go deep in the days to come. So don't worry. I don't want you to get overwhelmed at this point. I just want you to indulge in the knowledge and take what you need and at least take one action step. So the action step that I am recommending that you do is begin to just do a preliminary draft of what your budget looks like. All of your income sources for that particular month or for that particular pay period or whatever that looks like, and all of your expenses that will come out as a result of that particular month or that particular pay period. And then you're going to take the income and subtract the expenses and then figure out what your net balance is, if you are in the negative and if you are in the positive. And if you want more detail on how to really break this out, I'm going to pin a video for you to look at. I have several walkthrough videos on what you can do and how to go through this process of establishing your budgets by paycheck. I have templates that you can access if you just want a spreadsheet that'll do all the calculations for you. All you have to do is just plug and play. I have that available to you. So I'll go ahead and drop the link to the video that shows the walkthrough. I'll also drop the link to the budget spreadsheet in the description box if you want to check it out to just save time, to save, just to make it easier for you, that's available to you as well. So your action step is to begin to establish and operate from your budget. I want you to take needlepoint steps, one step at a time, but make sure that you're doing something and that you're not staying stagnant. And if you feel like you're staying stagnant, drop it in the comments and let me know so that I can send you some encouragement and give you some encouragement along the way, because my goal is to get you to apply what you are learning on this channel. This is a financial education space. This is a space for you to do the work. This is a space for you to be able to learn and implement so that you can build your financial portfolio so that it benefits your legacy long term. Not only you, but your legacy long term. So let's stay into this work, stay encouraged. If you know anyone that could use this information, invite them into the room, share this link with them, and just let them know, hey, we're doing this series and we're getting into this work, and I want you to join me in doing this work. The more, the merrier. The more input that we have, the more participants that we have, the greater impact that we will have along and across the world. So remember, your financial prosperity awaits you, and so does your financial sanity. Don't forget to come back. We're going to be back for day 5 of the Debt Freedom series. I hope that you are gaining value in these daily nuggets. I absolutely love teaching on this stuff. And the only thing that would make me feel like this is going to a good space is if you do the work. So honor your part and do the work for you, not just for me. This is for you. So apply it, jump into it, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
The Debt Demolisher TV with Sophia Melone. The Debt Demolisher TV with Sophia Melone. The Debt Demolisher TV with Sophia Melone.